Possessing high potential, a grand purpose, or a specific destiny rarely happens in a vacuum. The moment an individual steps into a position of promise, they attract intense resistance, and that opposition usually originates from the people closest to them. Chapter 12 of the Quran examines this tension through the life of Joseph, a prophet living in Palestine during the 19th century BC. The narrative begins with a vision. Joseph looks up to see the sun, the moon, and exactly 11 stars bowing down in prostration before him. In the context of prophethood, a dream like this is direct good tidings from God. It predicts that Joseph will eventually reach a seat of political power and worldly glory in Egypt, where his family will recognize his greatness. However, Joseph's path is complicated by his family dynamic. He and brother Benjamin share one mother, while his 10 older stepbrothers have different mothers. These 10 brothers are already jealous of Joseph's popularity, making the dream a catalyst for dangerous domestic conflict. A divine promise of greatness is the spark for a physical and mental trial. It places Joseph in a position where he must survive the very people who should be his protectors. Recognizing the brothers' existing hostility, Joseph's father Jacob issues a strict warning: hide the dream. He knows that revealing his destined status will lead the brothers to plot evil against him. The text categorizes the brothers' reaction as an evil nature. Prioritizing jealousy over their brother's well-being moves them into a different moral category. This signals a deeper failure to reconcile with God's will. By resenting these blessings, they choose the lead of Satan over God. Joseph now faces a coordinated, satanically influenced intrigue originating from within his own household. The proximity of the threat makes it his most significant obstacle. When pursuing a righteous path, the most dangerous hurdles are the betrayals born from a closeness to your success. The central thesis of the story is that divine power guarantees success against human malice, provided the believer follows 2 specific conditions. First, the believer must possess a God-fearing heart. This means prioritizing divine law and moral integrity, even when emotions like anger or fear are pulling in the opposite direction. Second, the believer must have the quality of patience. The Quran defines patience as active, unwavering perseverance. It is the ability to stay the course of truth regardless of how the circumstances shift. This flowchart shows how these 2 inputs work together. A God-fearing heart and active patience combine to form a defense neutralizing opponents' plots. There is a different path: retaliation. The text warns that matching an opponent's scheming results in a complete collapse of spiritual support. Choosing not to strike back is a sign of immense strength. It is a necessary choice to keep the moral framework of the believer intact. True faith functions through this balance. Maintaining moral discipline and endurance is the mechanism that activates divine intervention. Because Joseph adheres to the conditions of patience, the narrative resolves in his favor. He survives the family plots, traverses the trials of his journey, and eventually reaches the highest levels of power in Egypt. There, the original vision reaches its fulfillment. Joseph attains his ordained status, and his brothers, the very people who plotted against him, are compelled to recognize his greatness. While Joseph's story is ancient, its message is intended as guidance for all people across all nations. His trial provides a permanent, replicable pattern. It offers a way forward for anyone facing betrayal or systemic malice in their own life. Overcoming human opposition is the result of an unbreakable alignment with divine will through extreme, active patience.